Struggling with Fire Knight? It's not that difficult once you understand his weakness. All right, Fire Knight in Raid, it's one of the major bosses that you have to attack, and he can give people some serious problems. So once you understand what his weakness is, he actually is much easier than you normally would think. First though, make sure you subscribe here at YouTube, turn on notifications so you never miss when a video goes live for Raid or any of the other games that I make. It's the easiest way to support the channel and it doesn't cost a cent. All right, so let's talk about Fire Knight. Every boss in Raid Shadow Legends has a weakness. It's the main, like, Achilles heel for what they have to do, and is once you understand what each of those are for each of the bosses, it makes things much simpler. So, like Clan Boss, it's poison. Ice Golem, block revive. Spider, HP burn. But for Fire Knight, it comes down to turn meter control. The Fire Knight has a shield that he puts in front of him that has these bouncing titties on it. I know they're not supposed to be titties, but they look like bouncing titties, and I'm sticking with it. The Fire Knight has, depending upon what level of Fire Knight that you're on, there is a certain number of hits you have to put into the shield for him to turn it away to protect the boobs bouncing on the shield. That's what he does. Once you get those hits in, he goes down, and then you can start putting damage on him. If you do not hit his shield enough times before his turn meter fills up, then he just replenishes, brings the shield back up, takes a hit, and the turn meter starts over. So here at level 20, he starts out with 10. Now, the key to start this is to have multi-hit champions so that with each turn they're putting 3, 4, as many hits as they can to get that number down as quick as possible. Once his shield comes to the side and he goes into his kind of like stun mode of give me what you got, then you just hit him with everything that you can as quickly as you can and control his turn meter. So once his turn meter fills back up, he brings the shield back in, he hits everybody, and then it starts over. But if you can control his turn meter, which is his weakness, and keep him from taking a turn again, you can pretty much destroy Fire Knight without ever touching him on any of the levels as long as you can control his turn meter. Now, one of the best champions to control the turn meter is Alure. Alure, we'll take a look at where's she at right here, is an epic demon spawn champion who has an A1 that hits with 3 times, which is fantastic because multi-hit champions do the best for Fire Knight, but it's that secondary part of this skill decreases the target's turn meter by 25% on each critical hit. That is what does it for Fire Knight. Now, there are multiple champions with turn meter control that help, but this is by far the best Fire Knight champion. She can solo it, but you just have to get her all the way there to the Fire Knight. The next step here is to make sure you're paying attention to your build. Make sure that when you go into the Fire Knight, if you have a team set up, we'll just look at 20 again. If you have a team set up, that you pay attention to what their turns are so that when they get to that final round, in the order that they're going. So take a look at your speed, figure out which one's going first, how many hits they're going. So right here we have Seer. Her A1 is going to hit with just 1. So that's 1 time. Archmage is going to hit with just 1, so that's 2. But Coldheart opens with 4 times. Now we're up to 6. The Stag Knight is going to open with A1, 2, we're up to 8. Allure opens with 3 times, that's 11. So as long as we have enough speed to get those turns in, then we can take the shield down and start attacking. With the Psychic Whip here, it's also going to bring the turn meter down on the Fire Knight, which will help you out. Come back around to Coldheart, which I have her secondary as Heart Seeker, which decreases the target's turn meter by 100%. 30% extra chance of inflicting a critical hit. And this is damage according to max HP. So Coldheart and Allure here together, the two of them pretty much take it out. I use Seer and Archmage as well as Stagnite for clearing the waves to be able to get this to a decent speed run on stage 20 for farming gear. So the Stagnite and Seer and Archmage takes care of the waves. Then once you get to all the way to Fire Knight, it's just a matter of using the amount of hits that you need to get to take the shield down, and then controlling the turn meter on the Fire Knight. So once we get back there, you'll be able to see, now that we've looked at the team build and the way things are going now, if you don't have Seer, you don't have Allure, there are other champions that will do similar things, as long as you're paying attention to multi-hit and turn meter control. Those are the two elements that make all the difference here once we get to Fire Knight. There are also quests that come into play with Fire Knight. The clan quests each week, taking out the Fire Knight at a specific level without ever letting the Fire Knight get a hit on you, which just comes down to speed and making sure that you're controlling the turn meter before he ever gets to go. With this one, it starts out at 10. Seer takes it to 1. Then we've got 2 for Stagnite. The shield's already open once the turn starts to go, and now we're just controlling the turn meter with everybody. Between Heartseeker on Coldheart and Allure's A1. I also have Allure in round 3, which is the boss round. I have her only using her A1 to just guarantee that the Fire Knight never gets a turn. This will work at higher levels. I just need a little bit more speed. In fact, my higher level builds for 24, 25 have 2 Allures in and 2 Coldhearts. It's just a matter of getting them to the final stage. You can build this many different ways, but that's pretty much it. Once you understand what the Achilles heel is for each of these champions, and you're able to build a team to get you there, and it doesn't require legendaries here for Fire Knight. These are epics, and you can do it with some rares. It's just a matter of getting the build correct and the timing. All right, I hope that helped. If it did, make sure you subscribe here at YouTube, turn on notifications, check out the Twitch channel. We will stream raid multiple days of the week. Sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's in the middle of the night. Make sure you're following along there so you get notifications when we do go live. Thanks a lot. As long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep making videos.